Hello and blessings, beautiful Coven of the Witch Weaver. So this is a Coven chat to assist you to energetically, mentally and spiritually prepare for the things that are to come. So our primary focus at this moment in time is the cross quarters that are approaching at the end of this month. We are now in October. The cross quarter will take place towards the end of the month and the very beginnings of the next month. So October, November. We have the Samhain cross quarter and we have the Beltane cross quarter. This is a time in the witch's wheel where the veils are at their thinnest and where we will be doing a self-initiation ritual. So I wanted to be able to introduce some ideas for you to assist you to prepare and to give you a little push here and there to let you know what is expected and what can, if you choose, of course, to follow through with any instructions that I may give you, what can actually heighten the experience for you. And so I'm going to dive right in here. So soon we are going to be doing a 9-day sacrifice to Odin. This will be a live event, which I haven't scheduled just yet, but it will be a live event, and I will be doing a guided meditation into the halls of Odin where you are going to give to him a sacrifice. And you are going to pledge something. You are also going to be studying the runes for 9 days and doing a deep immersion experience. This is going to be incredibly beneficial to you to prepare your mindscape for your initiation process. And that is, of course, something that will take 9 days. Again, this is something that I'll be letting you know about. And we're going to begin it and finish it together, okay? And of course, as with all live events and time zone differences, if you are unable to attend, that is not a problem. Please watch the video in playback, and I will try and keep that video very, very short and sweet to an hour at least. And so it is something that you can stay present with me through and do the meditation at the same time and ask a question towards the end or ask some questions in the beginning, and then we will complete that that session, that ritual, and close space. And then if you are able to unable to watch it live, you can go back and just spare an hour. We don't want to make that too time just time heavy for you. Watching live playbacks that are any longer than an hour, I just can't. I just can't. I find it really difficult. I either have to break it up or I just can't. So I try to be very mindful of your time as well. So this is something that's important. Anyway, that aside, so that is the 9-day sacrifice to Odin. I'm sorry, folks, my phone is on at the moment. I'm expecting delivery of my washing machine, so please excuse any noise that comes from my phone. I ordinarily, as you know, don't have my devices on, but it's a big day for me. I get a washing machine, which means no more heading down to the laundromat to deal with the weirdos. I could say so much about this, but I'm not going to. All right, so 9-day sacrifice, something to adhere to. Now, another thing that I would like to bring to your attention, when you are entering into a rite of passage, you want to restore your body to its primal state. What does this mean? It means no vanity at this moment in time, folks. And what I mean by this, bear with me, is no shaving. No plucking eyebrows, no shaving the legs, no dyeing the hair, no cutting, no modifications of the body. Again, allow it to return naturally to a primal state. Once you have gone through your self-initiation, your old self dies and your new self is awoken. And when you awaken, which is essentially the next day after your rite of passage, you then can go ahead and do the things that you like to do. But allowing your body to enter in a primal state when you yourself are going to be entering into a primal state of mind during your rite of passage will make the energetic experience, the mental, the spiritual, the physical experience a lot easier for you to harmonize. Your focus is not going to be on the aesthetic. Your focus is going to be on the inner process, on the journey of transformation. And so this is something that can really help to align you. Now, I've got to tell you, I have hilarious stories of, doing these rites of passage and really guiding people through multiple rites of passage and then making this request And this is probably the thing that people get so uppity about the most. And yet, every single person that goes through that rite of passage, that follows those instructions, makes it through to the other side, understands in that exact moment why it is that I've asked this. You want to be in a primal state. You need to be in a primal state. I can't be there with you to ensure that you are in a primal state, so I need you to self-govern here, and I need you to be in that primal state of mind. A self-initiation ritual is going to be weak as piss if you cannot self-govern, and so push it as far as you can. Try and return your body to that primal state. When I initiate, I take out all of my piercings, I don't shave, I don't do the things that I usually do, and I also do other things to assist my body to enter a primal state. Now, in keeping with this, we are also going to be looking at nutrition to help support our body, to help cleanse, to put yourself in a good state from an optimal health level. So you want to be cleansed, you want to be clear physically, emotionally, and spiritually for this, okay? And so meditations are definitely something that you may want to focus on. And I might even throw in a meditation, just a little voice meditation to help you get started. But also really, really try and consume that good, yummy food, okay? It's important because I'm also going to be introducing you to spiritual fasting, okay? Now, when I fast for ritual, especially for a rite of passage, I don't speak to a soul and I don't eat a morsel of food for 24 hours, but I'm extreme, I'm hardcore, and I have years and 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 years of experience on this. But if you want to go that way, you're welcome to join me in that regard. But if you do not want to go that way, then that is fine. You can fast for 2, 4, 6, 12 hours. You do not have to go the full 24. I go the full 24. But you don't have to go the full 24. What is important here is that you do not push yourself so far that it ruins your experience. You want to get yourself in an altered state of mind, and fasting will assist you without psychotropic drugs to get yourself into an altered state of mind. You are going to be high up in your chakras. You are going to be lightheaded when you fast. And when you fast for prolonged periods of time, you need to prepare your body for that. Now, right now, we're at the start of October. There is no way that you can prepare your body to fast for 24 hours if this is not something that you have done prior. So I ask you to use your common sense to be kind on your body, but also be prepared to do this, okay? Fasting, especially for spiritual practice, especially for rites of passage, has a huge impact on not just your body, but your mind and your spirit. When you journey as you are fasting and your fasting is under control, where you're not in a state of discomfort, but you are lightheaded and you still feel supplemented in a way, but you are in a state of, raised awareness and very lightheaded in a way, that journey that you take is out of your control. In the same way that when we take drugs to alter our state of consciousness, those drugs assist us to lower our inhibitions and to lose a certain amount of control. And so you're not in governance, you're not in a state of governance of your journey. Whereas a guided meditation, most often than not, if I was to do one for you here right now, unless you of course are in an altered state of consciousness, you would be in control of your journey. You are not in control of a rite of passage. Your guides, your ancestors, your spirits are in control of that rite of passage, and I'm going to help to facilitate your connection to those things. And so you can choose to follow my instructions, and that's perfect, that's beautiful, that's wonderful, and I appreciate the trust that you've placed in me for this. I'm going to try and give you as much information as I can to assist you with this process. But if none of this is resonating with you and you don't feel like you can do this, if it feels scary, if it feels like too much, if it feels like your health might be at risk, then use your common sense and self-govern there, okay? I'm not trying to push you into a state of discomfort. You have to be a little uncomfortable. You do. You have to be a little uncomfortable, but you can't be so totally comfortable that it's just like any other day or any other spiritual circle. This is special. This is unique. You need to be able to gift yourself a really unique experience, okay? And so we're going to be looking at a few fasting practices. I'm going to be writing more than I'm going to be videoing about fasting. And also I want you to really focus on your health in that regard. So we're going to be doing a 9-day sacrifice. We're going to be allowing our bodies go primal and wild. And we are going to be looking at fasting as we approach the cross quarter. Once we approach the cross quarter, then all of this preparation style video and talk are going to ease off slowly, and we are going to be focusing on more of a syllabus, if you will. And I'm going to just take you through the motions, and we're going to move through things from an elemental perspective. And so let's see which element we begin with, and let's see how we go with this preparation. So I sincerely hope that you have enjoyed this little coven chat, and that it's put a few things into mind for you, things that you can start working on right now, and have some fun with this. Really try and immerse yourself in the experience completely. This is, of course, not for comparison. What you do does not need to be compared to what any other coven member does. You all have your individual goals. You all have your individual focuses. And I ask that you strengthen those goals and you strengthen those focuses. When you journey to the Hall of Odin, it's between you and Odin. I'm going to facilitate your journey there. But what happens in that spiritual space is totally and completely up to you and the gods that guide you. And so, this is an exciting time, and understand, of course, that your experience is unique. If you want to talk about your experiences, we will always make space, and this is something that I will invite you to do, to share your experiences, to share your stories, to share your narratives as you go through this process together, because it is a deeply intimate process, and you can share it here, and you should share it here with your coven members. But if you choose to be insular and you don't feel comfortable with sharing this, that's totally okay as well. A process like this, a rite of passage, is by rights very private and very personal. I don't talk about my rites of passage to anyone, not even my husband. You're either there in the experience with me or you're not. And we will be there sharing the same energy sphere at the same time, which is why initiation will take place at the same time. And I ask that you come as close to that time as you can. During initiations for coven previously, when I'm talking about my face-to-face former covens, we would take 3 days off. And that's 3 days off work, 3 days off family, and we would go away so that we could never be disturbed by others. We would go off to some wild wood, book out an entire camping tier, and there we would be as witch as we can be. Okay, so I'm going to be talking more about these things as the time comes by, and then we are going to begin with our 9-day Odin sacrifice, and that will be set about 10 or 11 days outside from our initiation date, and everything is going to be successive. It's going to be a beautiful chain reaction of events. So, wishing you so much love, luck, peace, and joy. I hope that you are excited and getting ready for this. I'm still getting through all the videos. You guys are so awesome. I'm just loving what you're sharing there. And please know that I am watching, and I'm doing the things. I also wanted to let you know that this is school holiday period. For the next 2 weeks, it's going to be school holiday period for me, and it's also my eldest daughter's 8th birthday. We are going to be doing ritual, and so I do need to dedicate a little bit of time. So videos are going to still be coming, don't you worry, but there are some things that I need to do behind the scenes, so I might not be active in my response, is more what I'm saying, and then I'll be back to it next week. So there we have it. Much love, many blessings, look after yourselves. Mwah! See ya!